All that's left in here is chocolate and coffee grounds, which, you know, it's not bad. It's a little weird as far as texture goes, but it's probably some milk. So I'm going to tell you guys a little itty bitty baby story. We, that being me and my family, decided to make a deck. And to make a deck, you need pixie dust. But if you don't have any of that, wood will work just fine. Wow, that was loud. But we didn't have the wood that we needed. Okay, but we walk into the Lowe's or the Home Depot. One of the two. They're always right next to each other. And we made our way over to where the lumber storehouses are. And we started picking ourselves out some lumber. But we got ourselves a large pile of lumber, a mixture of that yellow wood and another type of wood that's much less fun to say. And we were gonna make our way out to checkout. But my dad decided that he needed some screws, you know, to keep the boards from moving around. And, you know, I agreed. That was probably not the worst idea. And so he went looking for screws. And I stayed in the aisle doing sit-ups and singing songs to myself. People think I'm a little weird in shopping centers. But, you know, my dad came back. He did with the pixie dust and the screws that he was talking about. And we made our way to the checkout. Whichever store we were at, Lowe's or Home Depot, I'd love to give you an endorsement. It was probably Home Depot. I'm like 96% sure it was Home Depot. So all of the positive words go to Home Depot. But whatever institution we were at, most likely Home Depot, asked if me and my dad, if you didn't remember, that was who we were there. I've told you like 3 times. You should have remembered. I shouldn't have had to tell you, but I did tell you, so I'm not going to tell you again. But me and my dad were asked whether or not we would like some help loading the wood up into our truck. And we said no. But then we said yes. He said he was making the decisions, making the calls. So I just kind of let him do that. I was probably looking at the like stuff on the side of the aisles, you know, that have gum and Coke and stuff, which are both delicious things, gum and Coke. More of a Coke person, personally. My dad and the person who was with us, who was going to help us unload the wood, followed out of the building. Now, I'm not going to tell you the guy's name, and that's not because I don't remember it, but it has more to do with the fact that, you know, he's a person. I don't want him to get blasted by my fans. Sometimes I pretend I have fans. But like a band of desperados, we walked out of the store. Me and Johnny manning the wood cart. Me pushing, him turning. The 3 of us would never let ourselves be separated. And that resolve lasted a whole 0 seconds. Because I think no one actually made that resolve. Because my dad walked off. And Casey and me, we stuck together though. Still pen pals. We're not. Because no one's a pen pal anymore. But you know, it's a lot easier to walk without 300 pounds of yellow wood. Yellow wood. And so me and Casey made a rather slower traversion. Traversion is a word, I'm sure. Than my father, who went on ahead. And as we're walking to our truck, we see our truck move and go around to the place where we just were a second ago, which was the shaded little loading section at the probably Home Depot. Now, it's sufficient to say that me and Daniel were a little confused at this because, you know, we had our hearts set on loading up this wood and getting out of the heat because it was hot. Now, Derek may have realized that the best place to unload the wood may not have been in the scorching hot sun because he said something to me while we were under the shaded area thing, and I didn't really understand what it was, so I probably just said something generic like, yeah, or I think so too. And that might not have made a whole lot of sense to him, but he was getting paid, so he probably didn't care too much. But me and Donald were in the sun, looking at my dad in the truck, where the wood was supposed to be, under the shaded section. With a little trouble, we were eventually able to load up the wood. He protested that he told us he was going to come around to the shaded section so that we could unload the wood. Me and the D-man, we both said that we didn't hear that, and my dad, of course, made a lot of fun of us. But we loaded the wood up, and we drove off. Never to see our friend again. Or we haven't as of yet. Maybe he'll just appear one day. Happy Tuesday. But we didn't have the wood that we need. But we didn't have the wood that we needed. So subscribe. Is that funny? I thought it might be, but you know, I wasn't sure.